this guy or what do you think?
Yeah, so I think it's this one.
Oh, I am not a carpenter.
Beginning to open the time capsule here.
This didn't come from Evergreen Cemetery, did it? Well, let's get started. Let's see.
You just want to hand it to me, I'll put it on display.
Peggy Cranker lost a golf ball in here. MTSU Midlander, 1969. Minnie Pearl's first hat? It doesn't say. No. The chief would look good in that. Chief. Oh, looky here, looky here.
Cool hat.
Let's see. September 27th.
We'll come over here as these are
1973, the
unveiled.
Rutherford Courier. And the headline is, Mayor Ridley and 3 commissioners seek re-election. Murfreesboro Bank and Trust. The brochure from June 30th, 1973. The chairman, Jack Rutherford. A brochure from, or maybe a calendar, hold on. Nope, there's a brochure from a 74 Cadillac. And I don't see dealership listed, I'm sure it's in there somewhere. Oh, and you gotta have 74 Lincoln in there as well. This is an album. For some of you young folks, this is what an album cover looks like.
Yeah, they're doing an album cover there.
Carpenter, the Squire of Country and Comedy.
This is the MTSU Midlander yearbook.
Oh, let's see. I don't want to open that here, but this appears to be.
Assistant Chief Swader's name's probably in that Rutherford Courier there.
Is Buford Boyd Johnson?
That's
Lillian Johnson. She's written a
she
book.
wrote those books that my
That's right. We have, this says Middle Tennessee State College, 1961, the first 50 years.
Well, we hear Frank Caperton at the podium. They have opened the box, and some of the items are on display. And if you'd like to follow us on Facebook Live, you can actually see these items as they come out. Assistant Fire Chief Alan Swader is thumbing through a 1973 copy of the Rutherford Courier right now. So as Frank is actually just pulling things out of the box, he is the president of the Rutherford County Historical Society, and now as items are brought out, they're being displayed on a table and folks are kind of perusing through them. It's a copy of the old MTSU yearbook, the Midlander, some books, history of the Murfreesboro mayor. There's also a letter to the person who opens the box, and that's Frank right now, and he's opening this letter, and maybe he'll read that here for us as well.
2-page letter from Mayor Westbrook.
Ah, it's from Mayor Westbrook at the time.
Should we read this?
I think so.
It says, in the opener of this box from Mayor William Hollis Westbrook's greetings, you have just opened this box in which we have deposited certain artifacts, articles, and mementos, which are in the way descriptive of the year 1973. I think it would be amiss if I did not relate to you some of the conditions of the present time. The population of the city of Murfreesboro is 30,000. 30,000. The city government is what is known as city manager form of government. and is made up of a council composed of 6 council members and the mayor. The council sets the policies which are carried out by the city manager. We have a police force made up of 40. Kyle, how many do we have now in NPD?
Oh my goodness, 255?
So 40 to 255. The tax rate for the year, oh boy, the tax rate for the year 1973 is $1.82, and the rate for 1974 increased to $2.40 per unit. This change reflects requirements made necessary by the constitutional change going into effect, which is generally referred to as Question 3, voted by a referendum in 1971. A new federal highway system known as the interstate has just come into being. And Murfreesboro has, for about 1 year, been served by I-24. Murfreesboro now has 120 miles of streets, and the area covered by the city is 16 square miles. I think we're up to 556 to 55 square miles now.
650 miles of roadway.
And 650 miles of roadway according to Councilman Smotherman. For some 25 years, we've been getting industrial plants in the area. Before that time, Rutherford County was an agricultural area and had no industry of which to speak. Page 2. This marks a drastic step in handling alcoholic beverages such as whiskey, wine, and beer. A referendum was held last year, and legal liquor was voted in by about 1,000 vote majority. It's being sold from 6 stores known as package stores, which are operated by private enterprise. Heretofore, the highly sought-after beverage was distributed by bootleggers. I understand that this type of businessman has not entirely disappeared as of yet, since there seems to be some who desire not to publicize their habits. Inflation is strongly felt in our economy. Prices are skyrocketing on nearly every commodity. Predictions of shortages in food are being made. A fuel shortage scarce is beginning to abate somewhat. Think about that with the Arab oil embargo, I think, in 1973.
This is Frank Caperton reading part of the letter that's being unveiled. Follow us on Facebook Live, Good Neighbor Station on Facebook, WGNS Radio. You'll be able to continue to follow along as things are unveiled here.
Gains and sales each year. The use of drugs has become common and is causing a great deal of concern. Some things never change, do they? The police are being kept busy calling in those caught with drugs in their position. Styles in clothing, this should be fun. Styles in clothing are undergoing drastic changes. Women have started wearing breeches it says, boots and wigs. Off the place. The blonde you saw yesterday may be a brunette today. Many of the males have not been to the barber shop in 2 years, and you can't tell who was to whistle at. The kids are trying to look like old folks, and a senior citizen is likely to look like a Christmas tree. Great emphasis has been placed on housing during the past decade, and the city has promoted 3 housing projects which consist of tearing down the substandard dwellings and replace them with modern units. Time was not too far back when only the affluent could afford indoor plumbing, and the majority of homes had somewhere on the premises a 1 or 2 holer, which served very well. If you didn't know any better, to tell the truth, they had difficulty housebreaking the mayor. That would be Mayor Westbrook. Here's wishing for the old hometown a happy and prosperous future. Signed, W.H. Westbrook's mayor of the city of Murfreesboro. Let's see what else we have here. A copy of Southern Living, July 1973.
Southern Living magazine from July of '73.
Susan Daniel, would this be an apothecary bottle? Because it has, looks like some Band-Aids, a nail, a crayon, appear to be Buckeyes, and some acorns. This is, oh my goodness, playing cards. I'm assuming they're playing cards. Hold on. Playing cards. It says Byrne, B-Y-R-N. And I believe my kid was at Byrne Roberts car dealership.
Yep.
playing cards from Vern Roberts car dealership
Never
here
been
in
opened, by
town.
the way.
Unopened deck of playing cards.
Oh my goodness. This is a prayer book from evangelist John R. Rice. John R. Rice.
Prayer book from John
One of
Rice.
our roads named
John R.
after
Rice.
Brother Rice.
Would be
For
from
you
the sword.
King Edward cigarillo smokers, it's empty.
A
Look
bottle
here.
of
I'm holding this
Coca-Cola.
with 2 hands. The bottom. Oh, you're right. Bill Shacklet mentioned. Well, too bad it says manufactured or bottled in Nashville.
Oh.
It was bottled in Nashville, not here.
Oh, one of my favorite things as president of the Rutherford County Historical Society are newspaper articles. This one is dated March 19th, 1972 from the Daily News Journal. It's talking about the history of our incredibly historic courthouse.
Newspaper article about the courthouse.
There's a lot of stuff in here. Oh my. A phone directory from Southern Bell and Telegraph Company, Murfreesboro, Eagleville, Smyrna, Bradenville, Fosterville, Wiscasset, Milton, Reedville, Rockvale. Let's see what year it is though. This is from Roy Tarwater. We have pictures of him at the Historical Society. And don't see a year, but we'll find it. This is a income tax service from, can't see. Oh, there it is. Al Byers, B-Y-E-R-S, Al Byers.
Come over and take a look at some of the items as they've been coming out.
Shirley Cheney, City of Laverne. See what's in here. I'm not going to read the entire letter for time's sake. She did write it.
Here's a letter
And
from the mayor.
Funny thing, this Susan Daniel, I just put some article up about A.C. Puckett. There he is on the letterhead. That's for Waldron, D.C. Puckett, C.A. Cheney, David Owen, City Attorney.
Moved in the Commerce Union Bank.
General election office board primary December 12th. The good history of Murray, Woodward, Rutherford, Wilson, Benton, and Marshall counties, all of Tennessee. And this is donated by Mayor Westbrook. Goodspeed did a lot, in 1971, Goodspeed did a lot of history books. The Rutherford County Square Dancers. Oh my.
That would have been Steve Case.
Now, I'm looking for Councilman Rutherford, but I don't see his picture in here. This is the 39th anniversary banquet. Guest of Dr. John R. Rice. This is a metal plate. It says AACA National Spring Meet, Middle Tennessee. This is a antique automobile thing. Antique Car Association. More letters. This one is from Clerk and Master Ben Hall McFarland to the officials of Rutherford County. I get the feeling this is like the vote results from that year, since he was the one to certify that. Same there. History of senior citizens, 1962 to 1973. Let's see. Guarantee Federal Savings and Loan Association. Who of us are old enough to remember the old savings and loans? It shows you can make 5% on your regular passbook savings. Are they still in business? 5% in 1973. We have 2 business cards. One is from OK Used Cars and Trucks.
Sorry about the camera. I'm just trying to get several angles, and I think we may be back on the radio here in a few.
Burn Lumber Company, which is $740,745 from W.H. Bill Gilliam. So they were those two by the car trouble. Now, those of us at the Rutherford County Historical Society know this book well. We sell them. This is the history of Rutherford County, which is also known as the Sims book. This was donated by Roy Harwater. The top to the apothecary bottle. Oh my. Who's been to NASA in 1973?
Wow, look at someone who was at NASA. Kind of cool.
Looks like it probably has still going up to it. Probably came from the parade here now. Oh my. A brochure on Cummins Hall from MTSU. One of the high rises.
Cummins Hall high-rise
The Honorable
brochure.
He was a state rep, state senator for about 140 years. We have there's Ford's entry into the 1974 Thunderbird.
Thunderbird booklet.
And I'm sure that Alan Slater,
74 Ford Maverick. How about that?
Probably had a 74 Maverick, didn't he? We have a brochure from Guaranty Federal Savings Loan Association, the financial statement. More importantly, there's a photo inside this guy. Don't worry, Bill. I'm have all this scanned in by Sunday. We stayed up late all weekend. The Southern Diplomat Restaurant. Who remembers the Southern Diplomat Restaurant?
Southern Diplomat Restaurant.
The Southern Diplomat, was that not over there on Clark?
I guess that's a menu.
It's the, yep, it is.
It is a menu.
It was on Clark and
On
Memorial.
Clark at Memorial.
And you could get, just pick something. Tea, a pot of tea was 20 cents.
The whole pot of tea for 20 cents.
74 Ford Gran Torino.
74 Ford Gran Torino.
Again, this time with the LTD.
And the LTD. Kind of cool. We'll show you some of the items up.
For the National Society of Daughters of the American Colonists. Daughters of the American Colonists. Charlotte, Michigan, Kansas. It's not signed. Well, just say this is to just married. So I'm assuming that's Mary Hall. DAC, Daughters of American Colonists. Good. Oh, we have a newspaper clipping.
Again, this is from 1973. September 27th, 1973. It was put into the stairwell of a building here.
County, right, Vicky? It's printed DAR, but it's scribbled out as DAC. And there's a photograph. Few officers of the Daughters of American Colonists. We have Miss A.W. Franklin, Henry Murphy, Mrs. Charles B. Leatherman, and recording secretary Miss Sam Lane Jr. Oh my. Murfreesboro Bank and Trust. Downtown Murfreesboro.
Another Murfreesboro Bank and Trust brochure.
And a 74 Grand Prix.
74 Grand Prix, so that was a brand new there.
Oh.
And the Mustang.
Purist that day. This life design for the Mustang. Pontiac Bonneville. Be careful, everyone. This is a Pinto.
The Pinto. Ford Pinto.
And another Let's see what's in this big thick envelope here. This is titled Oval Hessen, O-V-A-L Hessen, at Byrne Motor Company, from his own office in Atlanta, Georgia. You might know a car enthusiast comes back in Pinto. These appear to be certificates of something to O.L. Hessen for dealer conference. And more stuff like that. here we have letterhead from Binford Motor Company, which is located at 755 Northwest Broad.
Binford Motor Company letterhead. They were on Northwest Broad Street. There's a Binford ad, Binford Ford, B-I-N-F-O-R-D.
LTD. I'm sure MPD had a lot of them on the road. Yes, sir. Murfreesboro Bank and Trust Bank Club invitation. This is from Mrs. Paul Dykes, D-Y-K-E-S, of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, to Murfreesboro Garage, number 1213, the agricultural wing at MTSU.
He's opening that up. I'm going to let everybody know. Nothing screams sexy in 1973 like a country squire.
That was because the gas prices.
Councilman Smotherman talking about
This
this.
is a very
Pinto.
resolution honoring the late James V. Threet, T-H-R-E-E-T.
There's a resolution honoring James Threet. Of course, there's a Threet Street here.
Alfred B. Huddleston and Tom Reed, city attorneys.
I know it's kind of hard to hear Frank.
Yeah, it says it's 19.
Well, the table's getting full here, and
Preliminary development plan from 1972 to 2000 for those of us that are on planning. Provincial University of Tennessee. Oh my. One of my favorite organizations is the League of Women Voters. Right, Ms. Madeline? This is Know Your Local Government, 1971. Let's pick one.
this is a brochure from the League of Women Voters.
Is that the best way to describe it?
Frank read this letter from then Mayor Westbrook's, but
Smith was on it, Sterling Farmer, Earl Coleman, Hax Patterson, J.L. Ross, William Sellers, Hewlett Spicer, and Robert Struve.
I think it's going to be a little too shaky for me to show that to you. We'll get it up on the website later.
This is a tract from John R. Rice. What must I do to be saved?
Track from John R. Rice. What must we do to be saved?
Welcome to MTSU
That's
Campus
cool, Tim.
Guide. Doesn't have a year, but we get the feeling we know a little bit about it. This is
A city campus map. Middle Tennessee campus map.
Where's the
Wow.
rest of it, right? We have here basic industrial data from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, April 1972. We're just going to read off just a couple of things. The population, it says the population of Murfreesboro was roughly 19,000, 1960. 1960 for the county was 52,000.
19,000 people in the city in 1950. 30,000 by 73 when this was actually put into the Murfreesboro Police Department wall by the Rutherford County Historical Society.
And water resources, the upper Stone River Basin. The Second Army Corps.
And we're seeing a lot of
Somewhere in the
Frank Caperton there, but I just thought I'd show you a little bit of the crowd that's gathered. It's kind of cool.
18,000 soldiers from the Second Army Corps practiced in Middle Tennessee, mostly in Rutherford County. This is written by Gene Sloan, by the way. Former Rutherford County historian Gene Sloan. There's a lot of stuff in here, Sergeant. Oh my!
There's a shoebox with a shoe.
Most popular in the 50s and 60s. These shoes were worn to a wedding, June 20th, 1964, by Miss Mary Hall. How about that?
Shoes worn by Miss Mary Hall. Style of the 50s.
This brick was part of an old Presbyterian church, which stood on Vine Street in what is now known as the old city cemetery. The legislature in the Tennessee Methodist Church built sometime around the year 2020 The old building was raised by the Union Army during the Civil War, and the bricks were carried away to the fortress road trench. This brick was in the possession of former historian Troy E. Harwater.
These are back in style.
I'm going to point this account to Ms. Rutherford. Preliminary planning on recreation and open space. I think it's the same thing we paid for again.
We're studying that.
Here, this is a copy of a, I consider it to be one of the Bibles of Murfreesboro, the Hearthstone book. This looks like version 1. Here's a photo. This is a Rutherford County courthouse when it was under federal occupation in 1864. The city of Murfreesboro audited financial statements and other financial information. 1971. Did anyone go to jail that year? This is Murfreesboro, Tennessee, but this plans and location data from the Middle Tennessee Industrial Development Association.
Information data from Industrial Board, I guess that year's version.
Regional Economic Development Center. Socio-economic factors affecting human resource development in the Mid-Cumberland region of Tennessee. I think I have a copy beside my bed. Oh, where's Chief? Crime in the United States, 1972 Uniform Crime Report.
Crime report, 72,
It was a good year.
3.
We're almost there.
Can't remember what he said now.
Oh my, Smyrna, Tennessee city map. Smyrna
A
map.
Smyrna, Tennessee map. It's 8:45. They've been pulling things out of this box for 30 minutes now. You can see it's a pretty deep box with lots of little items in it.
This is from the Rutherford County Historical Society, and we used to put out, was it biannual? Twice a year, once a year? From 1973. That's the very first one. This is an original. A plug for the Historical Society. We still have these for sale for 50 cents. They have a collection of stories, everything.
Collection of stories, a biannual report for the Rutherford County Historical Society, and that was the first one they did in
This is a
1973.
brochure on the Sinking Creek.
Sinking Creek Treatment Plant brochure, Sulphur Springs Road area.
But it was brand new.
That's when it was new.
Newspaper, Sword of the Lord.
Ah, copy of the Sword of the Lord.
There it is, September 14th, 1973.
September 14th, 1973. Of course, that's still published here in Rutherford County.
September 6th, 1973. And the headline is, Harvey's brand new Murfreesboro store opens today. Harvey's.
It's a newspaper article about Harvey's opening in Mercury Plaza from the Rutherford Courier.
Not to be, but that the Daily News Journal from November 10th, 1972. November 10th, 1972.
November 10th article from the Daily News Journal from 72.
$629,000 to build the new police department.
Ah, it's about the police department bidding. That is cool. The building that this time capsule was put into.
Daily News Journal, July 16, 1973. Folks, it says the Daily News Journal, July 16, 1973, circulation is 11,702 papers every day. I don't know what those numbers are today. But the headline, traffic accident puts 5 people somewhere. What more newspaper? Oh boy, this is a good one here. This is February 12th, 1973. It says it has pictures of the groundbreaking, which I'll assume is pictures of the groundbreaking of this structure that we're beneath right now. But it shows the 143 prisoners coming home from Vietnam. That's just pretty cool right there.
Looks like lots of newspaper articles coming
This
out.
was the Rutherford County Survey in 1819.
Rutherford County Survey from 1819.
There's a great magazine that still exists. It's called the Tennessee Conservationist.
Well, we are still having things brought out of the time capsule box. Frank Caperton is continuing to pull some things out of the box. This has been going on since 8:15 here this morning, and you can hear that audio in the background. And if you watch us on Facebook Live, you can see some of the items that are being pulled out. We've got now almost 3 tables full. We may run out of room. We'll have to kind of begin to put things a little closer together. So one good way to maybe see some of the items that are coming out will be to view our website later, where we'll have lots of photos, and we will also continue with Facebook Live here and let you all see this as it happens. So follow us there on facebook.com/WGNS Radio. We'll be able to give you a little closer look at the things that are coming from the time capsule. One that was really cool was a pair of shoes popular in the 50s and 60s, and an actual pair of shoes worn in a wedding by Miss Mary Hall in 1964. So some pretty cool stuff coming out of the time capsule. A lot of articles and books from the Sword of the Lord and John R. Rice. Of course, you probably think of John R. Rice Boulevard. Well, it was named after him, and some cool publications coming out of that. So that's kind of what we have going on here at the Murfreesboro Police Department. We'll continue to follow this on Facebook Live, and hope you will stay with us here on News Radio WGNS and catch up with our story a little later on. I'm going to try to capture as many pictures of this as we can. You're hearing the voice of Frank Caperton. It's like a kid at Christmas taking stuff out of this box and unveiling it here to the folks here. We're at the Murfreesboro Police Department headquarters, where they're unveiling a time capsule that was put into the building in September of 1973 by the Rutherford County Historical Society. Follow us online and on air. WGNS signing off here from the Murfreesboro Police Department.
I like to use the term Bible for the small meeting. This is considered the Bible when it comes to the history of Smyrna. This is the second edition, I think. Smyrna, the town that church, written by Walter King. Yeah, that is a treasure. We have an ice scraper, rolling service station. Go ahead. It's amazing. Thank you. Like a buckeye. That kind of scares me. And the pencil from the driving rank of the People's Bank and Trust. Tennessee, so economic development, obviously. Housing only, it's Cumberland region.
Salaries for the police department,
This is the last item.
$266,000 for the whole police department.
Wow.
Salaries for the whole police department.
Wow.
The Sears catalog.
Unreal.
That's unreal.
That is it, Sergeant Evans.
Frank, thank you.
Thank you.
Hope everybody enjoyed it today. Have a look.
I think it's going to warm up today. These newspapers and such, I'll take them to the Dahlbarn's office next week and put them in the scanner. Pictures are too big. Oh, we all have. We all have.
I'll look and see what I left.
There's me.
Frank, I just wanted to kind of catch up with you here for just a second. Do this on Facebook Live. We've been kind of showing things as you've been pulling them out of the box. You're like a kid in a candy store, aren't you?
Absolutely. This is what local historians such as me, such as you, Brian Barrett, this is what we live for.
And what was maybe the top 2 or 3 things that you pulled out that you thought, man, this is really cool?
Man, the Walter King, the Walter King Hoover book on the history of Smyrna. But I love the newspaper articles. It's not just, the newspapers, not just the articles. It's the ads, like one for Altman's Jewelers. Mm-hmm. How many of us have bought engagement rings at Altman's Jewelers? You know, that sort of thing.
I thought it was kind of cool, one of the articles that talked about the opening of Harvey's Memorial.
Yes.
And even the bidding for this police department headquarters.
$629,000 and change, it said.
Apparently a lot of car enthusiasts on the Historical Society back then, because every make and model seemed to be represented.
I didn't see AMC.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Or Volkswagen.
These are just really cool items. What happens to all of this now, do you think?
Well, we at the Historical Society, of course, we are I think the big word is repository for items such as this. I like to digitize everything. So this next week I will be taking pictures of pictures, scanning in newspapers, cataloging everything, and we don't have a lot of space at the Rutherford County Historical Society, but if we can't keep it, the Rutherford County Archives is the Gore Center, and sometimes we'll present individuals with a memento from their family's past.
Well, that's neat. And to be able to do that, a very neat letter from Mayor Westbrook, so looking forward to getting around to seeing all this. And you did about 30 minutes of unboxing right there.
There's
like
a lot
Christmas
of stuff
morning.
in there. Yeah, it was a great big box. I had to wait quite a bit.
Right. And you had to open it too. Thanks, Frank.
Thank you, Brian.
Here's just a look at the marker that was inside the PD. And there's an actual, says this brick was part of an old Presbyterian church that once stood on Vine Street, now known as the Old City Cemetery. This is the box that it was in, well constructed, as you can see. There's an article on page 10 about the architect, and then pictures of the MPD headquarters groundbreaking then, and then the article here about the city building, this building here, the bid $629,000, and that is from 1972, November of 72. So I'll give you one quick tour around everything, and then we'll wrap this up. Here's some of the brochures. I think if you've been with us here for a few minutes, you've seen everything on that end of the table.
Wow.
Jim Campbell, you knew Jim Campbell.
And
I knew.
this is Bill Shacklett and Vice Mayor Madeline Scales Harris looking over a copy of it's a ledger. It's a copy of a ledger, but it's the city budget. And the city budget for the police department was Bill, what did you say the police department budget was?
266,000.
Isn't that amazing?
It's just amazing. Just amazing.
You might have known you would have been looking through the
Budget.
The budget, right?
You're right. It's all relative. You want to figure
A lot's
out.
changed since '73.
It has, including the dollars. And they paid city councilmen $10 a week. So the budget for being a city councilman, you got paid $10 a week or $520 a year, which is, it's not much more than that now. I think it's pretty interesting to see how it's going.
That is amazing. Well, we'll end
what's
our
next?
Facebook Live here. Hope you enjoyed it. It's kind of our one of our first forays into doing something like this, but this event kind of lends itself to that. So thanks for joining us here on Facebook Live.